Welcome to our video on understanding vector and raster graphics. Adobe Illustrator is one of the industry standard tools for graphic design, and understanding these concepts is fundamental. Let's start with vector graphics. Think of them as the Swiss Army knives of the graphic design world. Vector graphics are created using mathematical equations, which means they're incredibly precise and can be scaled infinitely without losing quality. You'll not only use vector graphics in Illustrator, but in 3D programs, photo programs, and even in motion graphics and 2D animation. In Adobe Illustrator, vector graphics come in three primary formats: SVG, Scalable Vector Graphics, EPS, Encapsulated PostScript, and AI, Adobe Illustrator. SVG, for instance, is an open standard for vector graphics widely used in responsive and interactive web design. EPS files, on the other hand, are popular in the professional printing industry due to their compatibility with PostScript printers. Adobe Illustrator's native file format is AI. It's a comprehensive format that can store both vector and raster graphics, layers, and other design elements specific to Illustrator. AI files are perfect for preserving the intricate details of your designs. Now, let's dive into the magical world of Bezier curves, the secret sauce behind vector graphics. A Bezier curve is a mathematically defined curve controlled by anchor points and handles. Anchor points define endpoints, while handles dictate the curve's shape and direction. These curves are named after their creators, Pierre Bezier, a French engineer and mathematician who revolutionized industries with his work on curve modeling. Adobe recognized the power of Bezier curves in creating smooth, scalable shapes and introduced them in Adobe Illustrator in the 1980s. In Illustrator, designers place anchor points and manipulate handles to bend and mold curves with unrivaled control and precision. To understand how to create vector artwork, imagine the construction paper art you may have made in childhood. You cut out shapes from colored paper and then stacked them to create a picture. This process is similar to what you do in a vector program like Illustrator. You create shapes and layer them on top of each other to build an image. Now, let's explore raster graphics and how they differ from vector graphics. Raster graphics, unlike vectors, are composed of individual pixels. Each pixel represents a tiny dot of color, and these dots collectively form an image. Embroidery or needlepoint is the closest thing that resembles raster art outside of a computer. You start with a canvas mesh made of tiny squares. You then use colored thread to fill in the squares. You could say that the finished embroidered art is a very low-resolution raster image. The key distinction lies in scalability. Unlike vectors, raster graphics have a fixed resolution. When you enlarge them, you'll notice pixelation, which results in a loss of quality. But vector graphics rely heavily on mathematics, which takes more time for the computer to display due to calculations. The two graphic methods are not like teams in sports ball where they compete with each other to determine who is the best. Rather, raster and vector graphics complement each other, each bearing their distinct weight load. They are BFFs, helping each display your graphic images in harmony. Common raster formats include JPEG, PNG, WebP, and GIF. These are suitable for photographs and complex images, but are less ideal for logos and illustrations that require scalability. To wrap it up, as you journey into graphic design with Adobe Illustrator, understanding the differences between vector and raster graphics is essential. Raster and vector graphics are the building blocks of your digital canvas,